Alrighty. Looks like everything should be up. Three viewers out of the gate, huh? Welcome. There's a few odds and ends worth doing. I believe we already traded at the vendors of note. So let's go and try and get Kohlmeyer's knife, because that's going to be a nice little utility item. And we'll go from there. Turn the speed up as well. Huh. He must have just been right outside of the torch's, flare's range. Okay. There we go. There we go. Remember, kids, if you want to win a fight, hit them right in the nuts. There's Colmer's lucky knife. Oh wait, that is not what I thought it was. Whoops. Guess we'll be turning it in to be nice. I'm mistaking it for I think the jackknife. Sculpture. Clearly a constructed sculpture made of scrap, but what could it mean? It means one oddity experience, that's what it means. Nah, that's not how it works, Chief. But, Dirty Kick, oh, it is... I knew it was okay, but geez, it really does put in the work. Nah. I appreciate the vote of confidence, however. Do you happen to, by any chance, have an Armadillo-class drill rotor circuit board? Try saying that 5 times fast. No, I've got lots of junk, but I ain't got any Armadillo parts. Doubt any merchant here got those either. If you can find those at the old junkyard. Can't be sure. Tell me about the old junkyard. Old junkyard. Depot A. It's the original junkyard this town was built next to from the scrap our predecessors found there. It's a restricted area now, though, on account of some accident with a mutagen tank that happened a long time ago. It's a crazy zone now. Rabid dogs, mutants, flipped out auto turrets. Still lots of valuable junk there, though. And you got scrappers still doing raids there. And they ain't letting many other folks get in. That's the problem, you see. Those bastards control the gate. It's in their freaking base. So there's no other way in. He lowers his voice as he looks around. Now, I didn't say that. You know what they say, where there's a will, there's a way. If you absolutely need that armadillo part, the Black Eels might be able to help you. How so? Talk to Silas, the dockmaster. Tell him Colton sent you and that you're interested in the wormhole. He'll tell you more about it. We'll go ahead and start that before I clean up some other things. A lean, tall man stands before you, chewing on something leisurely. On his exposed forearms you can see various crude tattoos and shallow scars covering his callous skin. His facial features are sharp, as if chiseled into stone. If you're looking to trade, get the hell out and take the first door on the right. I'm here about the wormhole. Colton said you're the man to talk to. You look green, boy. What you need the wormhole for? You got a death wish? I'm looking for something specific I can't find on the market. Must be something special if it's worth risking your hide. The wormhole can get you in and out, but it's going to cost you. How much? Usually I ask for money. I got another deal for you, if you're interested. Let's hear it. I need someone to solve a couple of problems for me. Maybe get his hands dirty in the process. Dig what I mean? Shouldn't take you too long, and you might even earn some Karens on the side as well. Sounding good so far? Go on. There's a guy that owes me a hefty amount of coins. And not only that, he's also late on his protection money. I don't think he's got it. Just shake him down, see if he's got something else of value. If not, well, we still got to send a message what happens when you try to swindle the Black Eels, right? So you up for this? Yeah, sounds like fun. Excellent. The guy's name's Grover. He lives on Sesame Street. He lives in a shack just up north of the tavern, right next to Lynn's shop. Gonna pay up 100 Karens he owes me, or something of equal value. Can't pay it up? Bring me his ugly head. It's just like my Fallout games. So I was incorrect about the knife. Oh, wait, when did I get the jackknife? Okay, well, never mind. It worked out just fine then, because I got the knife I was talking about. The jackknife boosts traps and lockpicking by 7, so long as you've got it equipped. Very nice utility. Some people do still like Colmare's Lucky Knife on account of the fact that it decreases... Rather, let me rephrase it. It increases your crit resistance by 2. But, Yep, that is exactly what you do. By mid-ish game, you will probably be carrying about 20 pounds of stuff that has absolutely no combat value, because it boosts key skills enough to justify having them. Any luck? Here's your knife, old-timer. Hee hee, my old lucky knife. I thought I'd never see you again. Well, I'll leave you two to catch up. Hey, thanks. Best of luck, youngster. You're welcome. You too, old-timer. Goodbye. And 1 oddity experience. At least I think that's where I got that one from. In case you're wondering why I'm going out of my way to avoid the main alley and jump over the fence instead, the ones in the middle alley will try to extort you for a, not quite a protection fee, I guess you would call it a toll. Also, if a guy just walks into your house and closes the door behind him, you should already be whipping out your self-defense weapon, I'm just saying. The man greets you with a face as expressive as a rock wall. He glances at you, then speaks. I ain't in the mood to chat. I'm here for the Dockmaster's money, Grover, so pony up. His expression remains unchanged. Look, I told Silas already. I just don't have the money right now. I'll pay him back as soon as I can. And you know, we probably will be stabbing him. Repeatedly. That's not good enough, Grover. He stares at you. After a few seconds, his expression slowly begins to break. I'll have it real soon, I promise. I promise. But, this isn't a happy-go-lucky game, and we've got places to go and things to do. Any last words? We could be a douche and give him false hope, but, I have many uses for Karens, so we're going to have to be very cruel. Head acquired. Taken out of context, that sounds terrible. What's the old junkyard? Depot A. It's right through that gate over there in the back. Points his thumb over the shoulder. We keep it under lock because there's some nasty creatures roaming around there. You wouldn't want to meet none of them, Jack. Can I go in and look for that part I need? I doubt it, Jack. You can go ask Eddie if he'd let you in, but don't get your hopes up. So, if you're a normal human being and playing the game organically, you can either go with the Scrappers or the Black Eels. Considering I'm on Oddity experience, and also the fact that I insist on doing literally everything I can, we're going to unlock the gate in both ways by following both sets of quests up to their mutually acceptable conclusions. You see a short, jittery man with messy hair and stained goggles, both of which he occasionally adjusts, only to find a second later he's not happy with the new arrangement. What do you want? Can't you see I'm busy? He says and puts down his copper mug. I need to get into the old junkyard. No dice. It's Scrapper's only zone, Jack. What are you looking for there anyway? Drill parts. We don't usually allow outsiders in there, but I guess I might be able to let you slip by. That is, if you're willing to do me a favor first. What kind of favor? I need to retrieve something from an associate of mine. Alright, sounds simple enough. I'm listening. Let's discuss this somewhere more private. So rather than going into an actually private room, you just walk outside. Okay, here's what you gotta do. Go to the slums, past the camping area, into a back alley to the north. There's a gambling house back there. Look for a guy named Elwood and get his keycard off him. I have no idea how you do it, though. Avoid fighting him if you can. And if you absolutely must kill him for it, make sure no one sees you. If other Scrappers see you attacking him, the whole deal is off, and I'll have nothing to do with you. Understand? Alright, I'll do it. That's the spirit. Let me know when you got the key card. Yes, kill. Which, in terms of privately taking out singular people, we're actually pretty well off at the moment. You know what, let's go ahead and turn in the head to Silas. And I might actually head back to SGS and offload all of my stuff first. About that Grover guy. Did you handle the situation? Now, the ultimate messed up sociopathic way to resolve this is to have killed Grover and still pay his part of the money. But the poor sap couldn't pay up. Just give him Grover's head instead. So, he really was telling the truth about being broke. Dreadful, but you did what had to be done. Good job. What's that other thing you want done? Go talk to Captain Broderick over there at the wharf. He was transporting some cargo for us when the earthquake started and a big wave knocked some of it off the boat. He thinks he knows where it might have washed up, though. He'll ferry you over there to look for it. Why doesn't he look for it himself? No clue. Some nonsense about the island being cursed. You know how superstitious sailors can be. Alright, I'll do it. Excellent. Talk to Broderick when you're good to go. If you're looking for passage to someplace, ask someone else. I ain't sailing anywhere for a couple of days. Looks like he'll still take me to SGS. Go ahead and get patched up for free from Pascal. So I will admit, there's a few minor things that we just won't be able to do this run simply on account of how I've built the character. Best way to do everything in the game is to actually still build a, well, subway wizard and go heavy on the will and of course sufficient intelligence, because to get some more setting-oriented details, there's some interactables that require high will. Unfortunately, with 3 will, we're not really going to be able to do any of those. I'm here to help you recover that lost cargo. So Silas found someone derailed enough after all. Look, I'll take you there, but I ain't stepping farther than the shore. I'm no Quaker, but that place gives me the creeps. Where there's a will, there's a way, but unfortunately, there's not enough will. What's so scary about that place? Well, I ain't of the superstitious kind. I mostly dismiss the derailed sailor tales on account of them being products of eating too many mushroom cupcakes, if you know what I mean. But this one I know to be true from my personal experience, you see. There's something wrong on the Silent Isle. I don't know if it's haunted or what, But I tell you, there's something strange going on there. Like what? Alright, listen here. This one time I was sailing back from Core City when I started having problems with the engine's power converter. Well, no. To fix it, I had to turn off the main engine, and I didn't want to do that in the middle of the river because the current was strong and I knew there were some stalagmites around I could crash into. So I anchored it at this nearby place the sailors call Silent Isle. I heard tales of it being cursed and how anyone who spends too much time there is never seen again and such nonsense, but that didn't scare me. The only thing I cared about was whether there were pirates there, and as far as I could tell, there weren't any. I turned off the engine and main lights because I didn't want to be seen and also didn't want them to drain the battery before I could finish the repairs. So I was working there in silence with just the flashlight on so I could see what I was doing. It took me hours to fix the converter, but I managed to do it. Powered up the engine and started to retract the anchor, and I switched on the main lights. That's when I saw it, or should I say him. I saw me, standing there, on the shore, looking back at myself. It's not just that I saw a guy that looked a lot like me, or even that I saw a guy that looked exactly like me. He was wearing the exact same clothes. I was with exactly the same stains and tears that my clothes had. It was like I was looking into a mirror, except his pose was different. And you know what the weirdest thing was? For a few brief moments, I couldn't really tell which one of us was real. That was the creepiest feeling I ever had in my life. I didn't know what to do. I just stood there looking at him and listening to the anchor pulling up. And as soon as the anchor was up, I pushed the throttle and raced out of there. And nowadays, I just steer clear of the island altogether. Not a bad story, but I expected something scarier. Well, maybe this time around it'll be. You ready to set sail? Yeah, let's go. Jump aboard. So welcome to Silent Isle. So there's a unique gimmick here, at least up to a certain point. Anytime you are in complete darkness, you will gradually get stacks of a strange feeling. As for what that does, we're going to hopefully not find out. Ow. No, we're not going to find out together. We're going to have some rat hound. Together. Ow. Even with the 60%, they're still going off at my feet. Look, I can only put so much into throwing. And even then it caps at 95%. I could seriously use a better knife, but this one is really pulling through. Yep, it is in fact the cap. Even if you dump all of your skill points into your primary weapon, cap out the singular stat that determines that that skill, have the best potential weapon and everything, your accuracy will be capped at 95%. But that does mean you'll have wiggle room in the event of enemies, you know, having a ridiculous amount of evasion or dodge. Ow, right in the bug bits. Oh boy. This can get real nasty. That's why we have frag grenades. High beetle carapace, and that's apparently just far enough into the shadows to count. So it would be remiss of me to bring it up and then not actually follow through with at least showing you. This is what I was referring to by needing specific amounts of will. These mysterious pillars, there's similar monoliths throughout the Underrail. Each of them have unique properties, and we're going to go ahead and interact with this one for funsies, even though it's not going to go well. 3 strange pillars rise from the pool. They are decorated with glowing symbols that you are unfamiliar with, and they seem to hum, though you are unsure whether they actually produce sound or if it's all in your head. Focus your mind on the pillars. You clear your mind of other thoughts and focus just on the sound of the pillars and the glowing symbols. As time passes, you lose the perception of the world around you. You can no longer hear the water dripping from the cave ceiling or the insects skittering amongst the mushrooms. Everything except the strange symbols is darkness, and the only sound is the humming of the rock. You realize this could be dangerous. Continue focusing. You try to stay focused on the pillars, but you are overwhelmed by a disturbing feeling that there are more people in the room standing close to you. Your concentration breaks. So, you remember what the sailor was talking about. Yeah, just a bunch of doppelgangers. It's fine. Not the kind that you enjoy, though, Ski. Oh, excuse me, 5. I thought there was 4. So they have great amounts of movement. They do melee attacks, but are all electricity damage. And you literally can't hurt them. Well, you can with psionics. Let's see. Literally resists all of the damage from a swing. And we don't have it. Well, you know what? Well, let's try something stupid since we're already wasting resources anyway. Let's see how they do with fire. Yeah, they even fully resist heat damage. But if you had a sufficient amount of will, and I believe you don't even require any degree of thought control, but you can learn a relatively powerful ability in the thought control school by interacting with that one. You can get it from other sources, but that's free. Wait out the strange feeling. But that's basically what happens if you get too many stacks of a strange feeling. Um, won't be 5 of them, it'll just be 1, but as you can see, they're kind of problematic. Periscope part, which we've already got, and the lost cargo. So that's 2 oddity experience. Wait for the strange feeling to go away. Kick them right in the brain. That may have been the last actual normal enemy on the island right now. So, start moving at full speed. Trilobite fossil, which we've already gotten one of before. Oh. Huh. I guess they wandered. Kick them right in the brain. I don't believe I'll be able to pop it, but yeah, so you can actually get to that island over there if you had enough perception. It would reveal a bunch of stepping stones that you could take over there. Unfortunately, low perception runs, so not really an option. The sooner you find the cargo, the sooner we can leave this creepy place. I found the cargo. Let's go. Perfect. Let's bail. So I ended up following a few people here and there just to have a selection of channels to look at if I'm not, doing this or something. And there's somebody playing Parasite Eve. Once we get around this adapter issue, have a functioning controller. I might look into playing through Parasite Eve 1 and 2 on stream. Really nice. Yeah, about that lost cargo. Any luck finding it? Got it right here. Excellent, you just saved me some money, kid. And in turn, as promised, I'll save you some. Parasite Eve 1 is... The best way to phrase it is a bastardized gameplay style between Final Fantasy, like 7 and 8, and Resident Evil. It's a pseudo real-time combat system with ATB gauges and everything. Sci-fi set in what was then modern-day New York. Really good. One of those cult classic type games. Sequel went a little more heavy on the survival horror elements, with it being more real-time within the combat and all, but had really strict, like, survival horror-esque puzzle solving and such. I liked them. And we don't talk about the third game, or the NFT thing Square tried to do afterward. Okay, now, here's what you gotta do. First, you take this key, go to the slums, and look for the shack with an air vent right next to the door. It's in the southeast part of the slums. The key will unlock that door. Inside, you're going to find a trap door that'll lead you to the wormhole. And the wormhole will lead you into Depot A. And when you're done with your business, boy, come see me again. I might have some more work for you. And we got 2 experience from completing that quest. Unfortunately, the pathfinding in this game is a little bit janky. If you leave it alone long enough, if you click on one extreme of a room to another, and there's plenty of, not even enemies, just normal people, you will very likely collide with them and encounter some issues. So we could be a proper paying customer and, you know, use the door like a sane person. I'm stingy. And I can pick locks. Just make sure you're not seen when you're on that side of things, and boom, you're golden. But now we're going to see if we can be a real cheeky ass. Take some loot from the guard room. Not much. Not with this stealth level. So there's our target, Elwood. As you can see, nobody could see us. No, not Elliewood, wrong game. Which, Elliewood would probably end up the same way Elwood's about to end up. But, nobody has line of sight, right? So we cook him right in the nuts. Which almost kills him. You know, to be fair, that's what it feels like. Wow. And nobody's the wiser. And this is one of those unique cases. You can get an oddity off of somebody that didn't necessarily need to die. Scrap your insignia. crudely crafted insignia worn by members of the Scrappers organization of Junkyard. So that is 2 oddities. And then the loaded dice. Someone's been a naughty gambler. Another point of oddity. Take all his loot. But this is one of the rare cases where you'll have faction people in what is considered an uncontrolled area. I guess chat overlaps. Yeah, chat overlaps with it. So everywhere else where faction people have been, so no, if it's a controlled zone, yes. You can do anything even if it's completely hidden and they will know. But an uncontrolled zone, which is what this casino is, since it can't be read through the chat and I don't feel like moving it, setting traps or planting explosives near other characters might provoke them, but setting traps or planting explosives out of sight cannot be traced to you. Basically, if nobody sees you the moment you do the thing, or if the only person that sees you is going to immediately end up dead, you are not penalized. It is very easy to take advantage of this when specific faction people that you don't want to anger are there. Great way to get oddities. I just got a text, but I wanna. So, case in point, we're in a location where, yeah, you know, people should easily be able to logically determine that. Oh, okay. Perhaps attempting to kill the guard might not have been the best idea. Yeah, that's not terrible damage on our part, but, yeah. I'm just gonna go ahead and save the time, because that's already a fail state. The next best thing, if you're gonna try and, do scummy stuff, is that you sit here and wait for scrappers or black eels to walk through, and just, you know... Well... dirty kick miss, so that's just going to hell in a handbasket. But if you're willing to scum it up a bit, really easy to get some extra kills in, and of course, the loot. But we've done everything here that we need to right now. And all done. But you know, we did need to come and deliver some papers. Unfortunately, The Protectorate is hyper-paranoid, which, you know, it's fair, but if you walk in with your weapons actually equipped, or anything on your utilities, they will murder you. Halt, citizen. This is a restricted area. What is this place? This is an Underrail Protectorate outpost. It also houses the United States Embassy. Can I see the ambassador? Do you have business with the ambassador? Is he expecting you? Yes, he's expecting me. And you are Bacon of Southgate Station. He nods. We were expecting you. You may enter the embassy. He unlocks the gate behind him. Thanks. Halt. Before you can meet the ambassador, you must unready your weapon, grenades, and other dangerous devices, and put them in your backpack. If you reach for any of these during your stay on the embassy grounds, you will be neutralized. Can confirm, you will in fact be neutralized. When you enter the courtyard behind me, take the first double door to the right. The ambassador is inspecting you. Do not interfere with any operations inside the base. So, we've kind of slightly dabbled with the Scrappers and the Black Eels. And yeah, that's technically two different factions. The Protectorate is one of the real factions. Hacking. They are, in fact, the big boys. And in true me fashion, so long as I don't make them angry, I will take everything from them that I can. But yeah, in reality, you kind of would have to respect the balls on anybody willing to just casually go into a known dangerous place with everybody on guard and just, I'm gonna rob them. Case in point, though, free money, free food, stuff that's not going to be useful to me, and explosives. There's actually some really interesting things you can do here in a specific area. We won't be doing it because it would require a lot of save scumming, but there are some great ways to get some solid loot here. Nope, not me. I didn't do anything. The young deputy politely addresses you. Go right in. The ambassador is ready to meet you. What can you tell me about the ambassador? Only the very best. Ambassador Athanas is one hard-working, intelligent man who is sincerely devoted to promoting and realizing the idea of unification here in South Underrail. It is a slow and time-consuming process, but the United Stations are gaining more and more support, thankfully. Now, the door to the ambassador's office may always be open, but that doesn't mean he's not a very busy man, especially now. Please keep that in mind when going to his office. Thank you. Thank you. I will. You enter the office to see a short, thin man already standing behind his desk to greet you. Neatly dressed, neatly shaved, smooth-faced, and scar-free, and in possession of straight white teeth. This man is a northerner. He greets you with a polite voice. Welcome to the United States Embassy, Mr. Bacon. We've been expecting you. Bear has sent you these trading documents. Very good, very good. Usually I would allow this sort of information to be wired, but we have reason to believe that the network going through Junkyard might have been compromised. You never know who might be listening and what they can do, even with harmless trading agreement info. Just so you know, as a representative of Southgate Station, you are free to move around most of the embassy premises. You can also use our elevator to the South Railroad outpost. It's out of order at the moment because of the earthquake, but we're working on fixing it. Who do you suspect has hacked the junkyard network? We're not sure yet, but there's an ongoing investigation. Until further notice, I ask that any sensitive information coming from SGS and our other trading partners in the South be delivered physically. I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of this soon, so that the communication can continue as before. I've heard of the name Free Drones. Do you think these people could be behind the hacking of the junkyard network? I don't know. Perhaps. Perhaps not. I'd rather not comment on it. We'll wait for the official investigation to complete, then we'll know for sure. What can you tell me about the Free Drones? They're nothing but a group of violent anarchists. Sure, they cause some trouble to the Protectorate, but so do the Ironheads, lunatics, or other unwanted groups. They claim we're the bad guys, and they openly rebel against all of us, both the Protectorate and the United Stations. Us, who help stations survive these harsh conditions and protect their citizens against raiders and bandits? Sad, misguided people. They are becoming a threat, and I'm afraid diplomacy can't help much there. Protectorate will have to apply harsher measures. I had other questions for you. South Railroad Outpost? That's the metro base right above us. We use an elevator here in the embassy to quickly access it. In fact, that's how we got to Junkyard in the first place, via railroad. Only later did we establish a waterways route after acquiring Port Zenith in Core City, as well as reaching a mutually acceptable agreement with the Black Eels. Can you tell me a bit about the United Stations? Of course. We are an ever-growing confederacy of stations. Our goal is to unite the remnants of humanity in order to ensure our survival and prosperity. United Stations are ruled by the Council of Five and guarded by the Protectorate. We bring peace, order, and law to the stations that we integrate in this union, but also allow for a degree of independence. The stations are still free to choose their own local governing body. Our member stations are the safest and most prosperous in the Underrail. We haven't integrated any stations here in South Underrail, but we're hoping that will change soon. Take care, Mr. Bacon. Feel free to come back anytime if there is something you wish to discuss. So, we haven't gotten more viewpoints on them yet, but between Vera and Ambassador Athanas, you can more or less see that at least some people in the Protectorate picture themselves as the good guys. Also, we got one oddity experience point. What are we, 8? 7. That's the room I want to go into. I believe... Oh, they don't have a vent shaft going in there because this is still in the ambassadors. Yeah. Yeah, you have to commit to trying to get in there. And there's both a guard and a camera there, so that is not a great idea. Also, if there was a doubt as to how sturdy those boys are, there's the exterior guard, 450 health. You don't want to mess with them right now. Literally not easily killable. Not right now. Once we got a few more levels under our belt and some more specialization, better gear, yeah, totally. 450 ain't nothing. Psst. Hey, Jack. I hear there's someone at the bar wanting to talk with you. Thanks for the heads up. No prob, Jack. The man wheezes heavily through the mask, his eyes drowsy. He is resting one of his arms on the counter while occasionally breaking off pieces of bread from his plate with the other and putting them in various pockets of his overcoat. The air here is corrupt in more ways than one. You are Bacon of the Southgate Station. Is this correct? I am not going to vocalize every single wheeze he does. Abram's got some problems. That's all I'm going to say. That is correct. I am Abram, and I have a business proposition for you. My sources tell me you have recently visited the embassy of our Union friends. I wish to purchase information that you might have acquired during this visit. The information does not pertain to the purpose of your visit. So this talk will not challenge your loyalty to your own station, if you foster any. Are you interested? Sure. I'm always up for a friendly chat. What do you want to know? And he nods slowly. How many men are guarding the entrance to the embassy courtyard once you get past the gate? One, and there was another in an adjacent room. Were you allowed to enter the courtyard? Yes. How many guards did you see there? I believe there was 2 or 3. But we'll say a couple of them. Were there any guards in the embassy offices? I don't remember. Yeah, I believe there was one. Did you see or hear any dogs anywhere on the embassy grounds? Nope. I saw no dogs. Any turrets? Yes, 2 at the entrance. Just one more question. Are you allowed to go back to the embassy? Yes. That is all I needed to know. Kareem will give you your money. There is also a way for you to earn more. You're interested Come to me again, and we can talk further. That's something for you, Jack. He reaches under the counter and produces a pouch of Stygian coins. This can buy you a couple of eel sandwiches. But we're not buying eel sandwiches. Yeah, that was 250 coins for just giving some perfectly innocent, innocuous information. Kill the leader. Nah, that would put a huge target on my head. Are you ready to earn some more money? If so, I have another business proposal for you. Tell me what you had in mind. I need to deliver a present to our friends in the Union Embassy. But it's a surprise, so they mustn't know about it. I fear if I was to deliver this present myself, I wouldn't be allowed to leave anytime soon. What is the present you want me to deliver? It is a little pet, very lovable. Loves to hang out in ventilation ducts. You must place it there, without anyone noticing. Do you think you would be able to do this? I can do that. He coughs violently. Yeah, I would love to see the guy who is just sitting there petting a bomb, being like, it's a very lovable pet. Likes to go boom every now and then. Excellent. Once you've done it, I will pay you 500 Karens. Sorry, ma'am, this is a Wendy's. He slowly reaches into one of his overcoat pockets with both of his hands and removes something. He holds it between his palms and brings it close to his mask. You are not sure what it is, but you can make out small, insect-like legs protruding from the sides. He holds it there, as if speaking to it, but no sound comes from either of them. He reaches over and grabs your arm with one hand, and lets the creature grapple onto you. You can now clearly see it's a tiny burrower spawn. Abram's long, bony fingers and the creature's tiny legs both feel equally disgusting on your arms. Give me 1,500? You get a lot of coins from Abram, honestly. There's barely any time for panic, though. The creature quickly skitters over your arm and torso until it finds a suitable pocket in your clothes to hide in. Remember, you must release it near a ventilation shaft. It'll find its way onwards from there. It lets go of your arm. And, the description kind of spoils it. It's literally a cybernetic spawn. It's some sort of cybernetically modified burrower spawn. It seems docile and quite content where it is. Go ahead and unequip all of this. Wasn't really planning on doing this immediately, but might as well go ahead and have it processing. What it do? What, the spawn? Does some things. What we do is just go walk right directly into the vent. And, you release the little bugger, and it skitters away into the darkness. That's all. You just put it in the vent shaft. It's fine. I'm sure this is in no way relevant to anything. Easy money. I mean, just answered a few questions and put a little bug in the vent shaft. It's just a prank, bro. Give me my 750 Karens total. I do see one reason. All these people will be dead. Who knows? I do see one reason to consider just going for like a smaller weapon though. The knife only has an AP cost of 6 at the moment to wield. But we've got some stuff. I got some stuff in mind for next few perks. Suddenly I'm not real hungry anymore. He coughs finally. Excellent. My little pet has settled nicely into its new home. You could ask, but you're not going to get a straight answer from him, so we're just going to nod. You will find your money with Kareem again. Leave me now. I have much to do. Perhaps I will call upon you again soon. And there's our 500 coins. So if you haven't noticed, I haven't been spending many of these coins, and we are sitting at 2,316 of them. And what if I told you that isn't nearly enough for what I plan on doing with those coins? So there's still stuff to do in Junkyard, but I want to try to clear one thing up before it completely locks itself out. I don't think there's a time limit on it, but we still have a few odds and ends to do in that water treatment plant where the Mushroom Cove scavenger's body came from. And the one we want is Mr. Red over there. Also, I just want to point out all of the NPCs here are just called Slave. The leader's name is Mr. Dom. Look, I'm not saying that, you know, there's things being done, but I'm just saying. Mr. Dom isn't looking so hot right now. See, we got 26 points. Hey, the jackknife's already been put to good use. Take the booster, flare, all the good stuff. Master key, terrible armor, thought control headband. But as you can see from the thought control headband and the fact he actually did have a psionic bar, the implication is that he was mind controlling all of the people here. So, here is how you would learn psionic abilities if, one, you couldn't get it from a mentor, or two, didn't feel like, you know, dealing with the NPC or somehow killed them. So long as you meet the prerequisites, which psi-empathy and then a sufficient amount of skill in the given ability, there you go. There's your psionic ability. They are, in fact, good money if you're not needing them for yourself. And look, a fishing rod, just what we've always wanted. Another loaded dice. And a suspiciously valuable ring. Energy pistol. The blueprint for it, anyway. Below the grate is a pit, the resting place of several chained up corpses, of men and women alike. There probably isn't a reason to go through all that. Another one. That one's for psychokinesis, though, so we won't be using that one either. Another flashbang. Build components in an EMP. And a plasma core. Hey, look, it's Chester, the brother of the victim. Even though you see the reflection of the lively flame in his eyes, liveliness is one attribute which cannot be ascribed to them. They are vacant and pointed at the bottle of cold brew in front of him, untouched. His respirator is still on his face. There's a small, dirty spade leaned against the shack wall. Do you recognize this? Show him the gold ring. Its sparkle is mirrored in his eyes. That ring. He lifts his head, and his whole figure suddenly appears larger. Where did you find this? In a water treatment plant south of here. It's my father's ring, but it's been worn by my... He pauses. My dead sister. I must have it. He appears even larger now. The casted shadows must be playing tricks on your eyes. I killed a madman who's ravaged your sibling's mind. He remains silent. Wish I could give you this for free, but getting it wasn't cheap. Because we are maximum scumbag on this run. He reaches for his coin bag. 150 it is. Oh. Here's 150 Karens. Enough? 150 it is. He counts 150 Karens. Here. He hands you the coins. The ring. Give it to him. The ring rests on his palm, and he stares at it with teary eyes. Thank you for this. Can I ask you a few questions about Jennifer? He removes his respirator and takes a sip of his now lukewarm brew. Go ahead. That ring. You mentioned it was your father's, yet it bears your siblings' initials. He takes a moment to respond. They are the same. Our father's name was Jasper Royce. He was a scavenger too, and he gave this to Jennifer on his deathbed. Tell me about Jennifer. We were all inseparable. Our whole lives we were on the rails, all 5 of us. We lost Mom first, then Carl, our brother. Dad died 3 years ago, and now I'm the only one left. Life of a scavenger. It's full of risk and danger at every step of the way. And, he takes a sip of his brew. That's all we could ever do. We got separated, it seems. He nods. It takes him quite a while to respond. We wanted to explore the ruins south of here, but it was full of burrowers. On our way back, some bandits have made camp nearby, and they saw us and went after us, the sons of rats. We got separated amidst all of that, you see, and Jennifer... I don't know what happened. She had, smiles. A great sense of direction in the caves. And then his stare drops. But for some reason it failed then and there. He pauses. After I waited for, I don't know, half an hour at our rendezvous point, I came back. The bandits, they were nowhere to be seen. Neither was Jennifer. There was this water treatment plant nearby. He gestures for you to stop. No, I'd seen the body. I don't want to know anything. As long as the bastard responsible is dead. Now what'll you do? He glances at his spade. Well, I've buried Jennifer next to Dad. He shrugs. Now I'm off to do what I do best. And wait. I'll be leaving you now. Take care. He nods and takes a sip of his brew, then stares at the gold ring in whose reflection you see a dancing flame, and many prying eyes around, of which he is oblivious. Then he finishes the brew, grabs his spade, and walks away. 1 oddity point and a level. Yeah, remember, completely RNG as to whether or not that quest and all of that dialogue, that entire dungeon, even comes up in your run. We're going to save real quick. I want to see if the next point of dexterity is going to kick my AP cost lower or not. Technically it is RNG if we murder hundreds of people, because if I miss, I die. Go ahead and put another 5 into throwing. Go ahead and pump hacking up a bit more. Tailoring up to 50. We'll keep temporal at 45 for the moment, so... we'll start doing electronics, because there's a few tech bits that we're going to want to work with soon. Psychotemporal acceleration increases action point modification of all psychotemporal effects by 5 and increases their duration by 1 turn. So, we do want this, but until I get dilation, it doesn't matter as much. Taste for blood. Whenever you attack a bleeding target with a melee weapon, you increase your melee damage by 5% for each bleeding wound the target has. This can stack up to 10 times. Killing blows against living targets will also grant a single stack, regardless of the number of bleeding wounds. Expires after 1 turn, if not refreshed. I'm going to have to look and see if there's ways of adding bleeding to fist weapons, but that's pretty likely. Bow's weakness. You can perform a special melee attack that deals normal damage and reduces target's mechanical resistance and threshold by 50% for 2 turns if it lands. That might be a good option for now because I don't have any energy weapons. Grenadier is also pretty good, but don't know if I want to take that right now. If I do end up going for just punching, lightning punches will in fact be required. I'm going to take exposed weakness because that's going to be vital for the time being. Alright, so my AP cost did not go down, which means 1 more point should be enough to do that. I'm okay with keeping the point though, because that is my main damage stat. I'm going to go ahead and save. And we're going to see about grabbing the new armor material. Because I think if it's in 1v1, I can probably manage to get what I'm looking for right now. Coincidentally, those bandits that Chester mentioned, they are set up right here. They are actually very dangerous. They are oddly powerful for where they are. So they're an easy trap for a newbie to just walk in and then get blasted. This is a siphoner. Pretty dangerous if left completely on its own. And we missed, so that's already a great sign of things to come. And that's why they're dangerous. So their normal attack gives you stacks of anticoagulation, which means you bleed more easily. Their signature move is literally their namesake, Siphon. Uh, they literally suck you dry and also heal themselves as a byproduct. The main thing we want here is some siphoner leather. And hopefully they won't all be cheap and not have any. That was a complete miss. %72 chance, by the way. And okay, I think the RNG actually gets seeded because that was almost exactly the same result. And I misclicked. try this grenade again. And nudged the cursor a little too much and completely ruined everything. I could die. So siphoners are a pretty big threat at this point in the game, especially if you're not using guns. But the rewards are most certainly worth it. Ah, yes. I love setting myself on fire. One down. Despite the unnecessary damage, went way better this time. Still no luck. Still no luck. A siphoner leather. Quality's but good enough for the time being. I will want some other materials before making the armor, though. Additionally, we're going to want one more for our eventual new shoe type. Obsidian shard. It's a shard of volcanic glass. 1 oddity point. Oh, speaking of, we need a full 18 oddity points to level up now. These really poor hit results are quite a bit unfortunate. There we go. Oh, hey. Heart-shaped siphoner marking. The piece of siphoner skin containing a marking in the colors common to the creature but in the shape of a heart. Oddity worth 1 point. And way better siphoner leather. And another copy of the oddity. So there we go. Won't have to immediately come back in hopes of finding more. Go ahead and report that one job done. Got Elwood's key card. Very good. And what about Elwood? Had to ice him, I'm afraid. Too bad. Was hoping to do that myself at some point. Never mind. Okay, here's what you do next. Go to the back alley north of the tavern and find Elwood's house. It won't be hard to spot. It's the only one with decent walls and electronic lock. Need you to retrieve something from there. And what's that? Need you to find something that resembles a disc. It's dark green and rough around the edges, and it's made of something that's not quite stone and not quite metal. It's kind of hard to describe, but you'll know it when you find it. Trust me. Alright, I'll find your disc. Good. I'll be waiting. Good hunting. Oh, and just one more thing. From what I've gathered, Elwood used to be pretty good with mines, so watch your step in there. So, we're going to want some decent black cloth and some soft foam padding. And though I hate actually paying for items, I'd rather just trade items to get their money instead. We do want to go ahead and get this wrapped up. So, use our good siphoner leather, soft foam padding, and black cloth. And here's our new armor for the foreseeable future. Decent mechanical heat and acid resistance, and bonuses to dodge, evasion, and sufficiently high stealth bonuses. And all for the low price of an armor penalty of 5, which is completely negated by having nimble. We do lose the 1 point of agility that the cave hopper stuff offered, but that's a small price to pay, honestly. It reminds me I need to stock back up on lockpicks. Might be worth doing that before I go down there, actually. Alright. I'm sure that that's the only time that'll happen. This is why we stocked up on the lockpicks. Money. Hee hee. Strange comm device. Already looked at one of these. Yes, the biggest Bakun. Okay, then. You know what? We're gonna make use of our situation. Can't interact during combat. Bullshit. I was going to get into the vent shaft and let them just wander around in here until they triggered the traps. Unfortunately, didn't quite work out. Well, they triggered that one at least. The reason why I'm okay with fighting them right now is because of that. I knew they still had one of those I would need eventually. We're done on the registration plates at least. Oh, it's directly in front. Alright. I believe you are correct, actually. Okay. That looked like it was... Alright, it's kind of dumb that you actually will walk out of the safe tile into the dangerous tile. There we go. Oh, I can't just open it from the side. Excuse me. So it's either trigger the traps or... Yeah, okay. This is such a waste, but there. Fine now. So, this here laser pistol, it's valued at 70/70, but here's the thing. its durability is half gone. The fun thing about weapons is, if you are willing to repair them, if they're worth something, I can kick that up to almost 15,000, give or take. And there's our actual MacGuffin that we came for. Do I have a... I actually do have an electronic repair kit. Alright, maybe not 15, but definitely decently. Do we have an advanced electronics repair kit? No. I ain't wasting battery when I've already wrapped up. Oh, right. There was no shortcut. Yeah, I'm probably about to head back to SGS and offload the excess. Did I not loot that one? There we go. Which, thinking on that, we'll do the tidying up, and then I'll probably call the stream shortly after that. I need to actually go and cook some stuff. And then, after I do the general checkups and all for the evening, we'll pick back up and probably wrap up Junkyard, like what's left of it, and get on with unlocking the game as a whole. Found the disc, here you go. Haha, I knew you could pull it off. Good job. I'll let the guards know you're allowed to pass into Old Depot A. Just go through the back door over there in HQ and turn right. I could use someone like you for another job if you're up for it. Come and see me later. And yes, sad because streamer going away. But you know me, I'll most likely be back. So let's see. You said you had more work for me. Yeah, since you're heading into the old junkyard anyway, there's something you could help me with. A while back, it came to my attention that, without my permission, the eels have been slithering their way into the old junkyard. I want you to find out how they're doing this. There's probably a back entrance somewhere I don't know of. I'll pay you 200 Karens if you find it. You up for this? Sure, I'll get to the bottom of this. Coming? Joke's on you, I can't go shopping. Make a lot of things easier if I could. We'll be back for your Karens later. You mentioned you had some more work for me. I did. Do you know how the scrappers are? Yeah. Of course you do. They run the other half of Junkyard. They control the entrance, well, the main entrance to the old junkyard. And for that reason, they got a far stronger presence than we do. Which means they get first dibs on most of the goodies uncovered there. I aim to change this. You see, now that we have the wormhole, we can get a drop on them. Do the, what you call it, pincer attack. But there's a problem. They still hold the checkpoint right between Old Junkyard and their base. If we choose to fight there, I expect it ain't gonna go too well for us. There might be a better way to access Scrapper's HQ through the old junkyard. If someone out there knows a way, that would be Blair, or Blaine, a former scrapper. That old rat used to do scavenging runs every day back in his prime. And where do I find this Blaine guy? Well, if I bloody knew that, I wouldn't need you now, would I? He doesn't show his face much around here no more. He had a fallout with Eddie, the scrapper boss, so he has no one to watch his back on the streets. If he's somewhere in Junkyard, it's probably a safe place we don't have to worry about being attacked by either gang. Ask around the slums. Someone might know something there. And yeah, his old pal Jonas might know where he's at. You might want to pay a visit to your fellow Southgater. You up for this job? Find Blaine, find out if there's any alternative routes into Scrapper HQ from inside the old junkyard. If we pull this off, boy, there's going to be plenty of stuff for all of us to plunder from the Scrappers. Sure, you can count on me. Great, get that info out of him one way or another. You might need to rough him up a bit, be careful. Blaine's one cunning rat. He is. Need a lift to SGS? So you might recall that I mentioned having new footwear in the works. Blaine is integral to that, at least this early. Looking for an old friend of yours. Blaine, you got any idea where he might be? He looks at you suspiciously. Why would you be looking for Blaine? I'm looking for advice on old junkyard. Well, I don't know where he is. I haven't seen him for quite some time, actually. Look, I don't mean him any harm. I'm planning a scavenging run. Just want to ask him a few questions about the old junkyard. That's all. He's silent for a few seconds, studying you. Alright, but I'll hold you to your word. You can find him in the underpassage, not too far from SGS. Just head out north past our station and take one of the stairs down. Look for his shop down there. The only way to get inside is to beat the intercom twice short, once long, then twice short again. You dig? Twice short, once long, twice short again. Thanks, old man. If we hadn't have given him his watch back for free, you would actually need an okay persuasion to meet that check, but it becomes a 0 check after having, not been a dick to him. An unsmiling face hiding behind dark shades welcomes your arrival. Motionless at first, the man soon opens his mouth to speak, doing so with as little jaw movement as possible, shaping the sound with nothing but the most minute motions of his lips. The product, a clear and solid, low-pitched voice. I see you found the way to my little shop. Name's Blaine. Is there any particular reason you're here? Actually, I came here to ask you a question about the old junkyard. That's so. I don't deal in information usually. That business is messy. Besides, there are others who do that kind of thing much better. But I'm curious, why'd you come to me with this? Silas told me to find you. He figures you're the most qualified person to help us figure our little problem out. For a moment, you thought you noticed a smile on his face, but it could have simply been due to the lighting. That's very amusing, Silas asking for my help. Funny, some years back, I wouldn't even have considered talking to you eels with nothing but bullets. But a lot has changed since. Very well, ask your question. Is there a way into the Scrappers HQ from Old Junkyard other than the main gate? I'll be damned. Did the old dirty eel finally muster up courage to go after the Scrappers? Something like that, yeah. Well, in that case, I'll give you this one for free. Figure if you guys can pull it off, that'll rid me of my problem with Eddie. There ain't any other ways to get in there right now, but if being stealthy about it is not what you're looking for here, then I think I know a way for you to clear the existing entrance. See, Jack, back in the days when Depot A, as the old junkyard was called back then, was the main thing, Depot B, which is now the Scrappers HQ, was just a forward outpost. It wasn't connected to the Underrail's ventilation system directly, but rather through Depot A. So when the ceiling started to crumble, figuratively, with the mutagen and whatnot, the survivors from Depot B set up explosives and collapsed all the vents, because they feared the mutagen might have been airborne in nature. So you see, if you were to plant enough explosives there in the southernmost part of that cavern, it would collapse the gate and all the defenses the scrappers might have stacked up there. Here you go. Brand new entrance. Just so crazy it might work. Whatever the case may be, that's all I got for you. Take it or leave it. And let me see what you got to say. So, Blaine is also one of the few other shops that are not just strictly SGS that will accept SGS credits. And we want the Tabby Boots Blueprint. Also, he has some fairly high quality components, which I will gladly start grabbing. So the reason why we want the Ninja Tabby boots, or rather the Tabby boots. Alright, I will need 2 souls. I suppose... no. We'll have to grab those in SGS real quick. Which, you know, we're going back there anyway. Be going down to engineering. No souls? Oh, wait, there we are. This is why we wanted the siphoner leather and the tabby boots. Oh yeah, slightly higher chance to get crit, but let's be real, if we're being attacked at all, we're probably going to die. But increases movement speed, increases movement points, dodge and evasion are both way up, and action point cost of melee attacks reduced by 1. So it's a pretty good item. Which we lose 3 stealth and 1 agility, but it's worth it. So we've got some okay acid resistance. Overall resistances are acceptable. Stealth is pretty solid right now. Dodge and evasion are through the roof. And this was with me not dumping straight into them. So I'd say we're doing pretty well for ourselves right now. We'll get healed in medical. We'll head back to junkyard. A couple of other minor things, and then that's where we'll call it for the time being. About that Blaine guy. Any news? Did you find him? Yeah, I found him. He told me something that could help us. So what did you learn? It ain't quite what I was expecting, but this could work. Yeah. I'll have Colton prepare the explosives, but in the meantime, I got another job for you. I'll be straight with you, Bacon. The reason I picked you for this ain't because of your competence, that you proved you got plenty of that, but because of your allegiance. Scrappers got about the same manpower as we do, so if we're to take them down, we're going to need a bit of outside help. If you could convince your leaders at HGS to aid us in this, we can make it profitable for them in the long run. Well, yes, it is because you're the player character, but SGS is a unique entity in this portion of the South Underrail, so he does have a point. If you had not been part of the station, you probably wouldn't be as enticing a target. I prefer us to have SGS on our side here, but if you think it ain't going to work out, you could also try talking with the Protectorate. I'm sure they'd be happy to see us and the Scrappers fight each other. Any way you look at it, we're going to need someone to help us get this done. Let me know if you manage to pull something off there. That got us an oddity point. Hey, Abram wants to see you if you're up for some action. He's waiting for you in the caves west of the Junkyard Gate. Dangerous stuff's about to go down, so if you're coming, come well prepared. Thanks for the info. So actually, I'll head close to that before I quit, and that's what we'll pick up with when we continue. It's a bit less than I thought. I thought it'd be closer to 15, but that is, well, excuse me. I figured they'd be accepting laser pistols. But, it'll pay out eventually. There's our boy Abram. So, I'll save it here. I need to go check on a few things, see what the status on that controller adapter is, and a few other things. If the adapter comes before I restart, I might do something else for the evening, but we will see. Either way, we'll probably be resuming streaming in a couple of hours after food and a few other tidbits here and there. So, for now, thanks for coming by. Hope you enjoyed, and take it easy. We will be back around eventually.